What's going on, guys? Car Review Guys here. My name is AJ and we are back this week with a Mercedes-Benz 2024. This is the GLS 580 4MATIC, obviously. We are going to be doing the full review. We are going to start with the cinematic, obviously, and then go over the exterior stats, figures, all of that kind of thing. Then we're going to work our way to the interior, and then we're going to take it on a drive. We are almost at 20,000 subscribers. Thank each and every one of you. Without further ado, let's get right into this. Number one, I'm being blinded. Number two, it is super windy. Hopefully my expensive mic actually works, huh? Let's roll. Starting with some of the features that I feel you guys would like to know, this GLS 580 has a 4-liter, 8-cylinder twin turbo. It's pushing 510 horsepower and 538 pound-feet of torque. Transmission comes in a 9-speed auto. It's a mild hybrid, which is kind of just deleting the turbo lag. It is coming in curb weight at 5,820 pounds. Which, all in all, is going to push this GLS 580 from 0 to 60 in an impressive 4.7 seconds. Now, speed comes at a cost. Fuel economy is 14 city, 20 highway, 16 average, aka combined, and your fuel tank is looking at 23.8 gallons, and that is on the passenger side. Vehicle dimensions, it is 17.1 feet long, and then width, it's fairly wide. It's almost 7 feet wide. Pricing is going to start around $87,000 for the 450, of course, and then for the 580, it is going to start around $112,000. Tester today is $128,880, including the destination charge. Taking a quick look at the exterior, the color on this is called Alpine Gray, and really it's basically like a Nardo Gray in my opinion. You have some nice LED headlamps, super bright at night, and then it's kind of like a blackish chrome. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. The lighting is just, when it's super sunny, in case you didn't know, it is not ideal for filming, but it's Arizona, so I gotta, deal with what cards I'm dealt. At least it's not raining, right? And then of course you've got black wheels. I'll show the window sticker here in a second. You can see everything that comes on this. You can see this one has basically like a night edition, so you're basically getting black wheels, black mirrors, black trim all the way around. So there is some pretty nice stuff on this. You do have these little running boards down here. You have keyless entry on all 4 doors. Hopefully you can see the little mark there. Obviously, to unlock it, you just simply put your hand on the inside. Pretty normal at this point. As already mentioned, fuel door is here on the passenger side. And then walking around to the back, the only thing that is kind of weird, right, is all the chrome is basically blacked out except for back here. Just kind of something that I noticed, maybe not everyone notices. Nonetheless, still looks really good. In the rear, you have dual exhaust, of course, and then in order to open the rear hatch, right underneath the Mercedes-Benz emblem, you basically just press, up it goes. And then let's check out the rear. Got the nice vacuum lines here, looks super nice. You have a decent amount of space here, and again, this thing is pretty wide, so you can fit some good things in here. And then of course you've got buttons for pretty much anything you would ever want, including lowering the vehicle, which allows you to load it just a little bit easier. This one has the optional 6 seats. You can, as standard, get 7 seats, so this actually had to be option in order to get the 6. And then over on the left, you can see second row to fold the seats as well. Before we step in for the second row, you're going to notice it is heated on both sides for the captain chairs. And also, you are going to notice it is fully power and adjustable, which is super nice. You can see the ambient lighting running through here. This one has the optional Burmeister speakers, which is a expensive option. Again, I will throw up the window sticker here shortly. Let's test getting in this thing. I'm 5'9", for those of you that are new to my channel. Stepping in, I don't really notice myself using the running board down there. I just kind of step in. It's really not that high. And again, you can change the height a little bit, right? Like you can raise it or lower it. So right now, I believe I have it on the lower setting. So just getting back here, there is a handle here if you like that kind of thing. I didn't think it was necessary. Super easy to get in the rear, at least in the second row. One fun fact for you while we're back here, just looking, you're gonna notice on the door there is a empty button here. You can get cooled / ventilated seats even in the second row. You can also get heated armrests in the front and in the rear, and you can also get rear massaging seats. So you can get this thing quite decked out. The tester today does not have those few of options. And it's actually, to me, it's fairly, like, I want to say affordable, because like for all of that, I'm wanting to say, I won't say, I'll just put it here up on the screen here because I don't remember. I think it was under $4,000 for some reason, but I'll put it here, so maybe I'm wrong. Either way, super easy to get into the back, and you actually have a decent amount of space back here. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's not like it's a ton, but certainly good enough. Also back here, you're going to notice you got a couple of different chargers and a cup holder. It says a 5-zone as an option, so that way you have even another temperature for the rear. Last but not least, as we get out of the rear, we have to check materials, of course. Nice and soft on the armrest. Up above, super soft everywhere. You have this nice wood, and then they're beautifully done little speaker bezels, super nice. Again, all soft everywhere up there. And then down here is a harder material, which makes sense because that's basically what I would call like a kick plate type of deal. The other thing to note, there is soft close doors, so you can kind of see this gap. If I just start pushing it just a little bit, it's going to basically suck itself in there, so cool little feature. Coming up to the front door, again, very similar to the rear. The only addition obviously is memory seating, as you can see, and then you have the ventilated seat. If you need to control the right or passenger seat, you press that button, and then you can move the seat over there with the controls on this side. Time to step in. Let's see what it's like here. Again, super easy. I don't have any issues with it. The only thing that I'll note is the bolsters are pretty pronounced in this for being such a luxury vehicle. I don't know if you can see very good here, like putting my hand next to that, like you can see it's like my whole hand. That's how much it sticks out. And it is kind of narrow. So that definitely, I did notice that. Checking out the steering wheel, obviously standard for Mercedes-Benz. If you're looking at this review, you probably are already familiar with Mercedes-Benz, so it's all basically heat / touch sensitive. You can slide it up and down, you can touch it. Same thing on the other side for the volume, slide or kind of touch, up to you. There are different menus up in front of us. So if we hit the home button, you're going to notice there's various different ones we can slide through. Off-road, you have navigation, classic, sport, and understated. For me, I always just leave it on navigation. I think it looks really cool because it's kind of seamless, if you will, which is definitely neat. Out in front of us, you do have a good size heads-up display, super clear. Up above on the mirror, you do have garage home link. Of course, up above us, we have a massive panoramic roof. Looks super nice. And then we have a wood throughout, and then obviously there's a ton of different options, color combinations, all of that stuff. You're just gonna have to go on the website, spec the one that you would want, because there are so many options, it's not even funny. Now, my favorite feature, well, top two, right? There's massaging seats for both of the fronts. You can get it for the rears as well, but check this out. Heated and cooled cup holders. And I'm talking, it gets cold. like cold. So that's pretty cool. There's also a fragrance. If you were not familiar with it, you can change them out. It's actually in the glove box. And then you can set your levels and it will literally smell really good in here. Down below, you can probably see down there, you have some sporty looking pedals, look pretty nice. Start button, of course, and off, I guess. And then also your auto stop start. I turn that off every single time. Not a fan of that, as you guys know. And then right here's your center console. It is pretty soft. It's obviously a little firm, but still soft. Just press this button right there and it will open up. It is very deep, and there's also a USB-C right there. Now, we're not going to go through everything through this main menu, right? But let's just touch this very quick to go over how responsive it is. Super responsive, very nice. Now, let's press the camera so you can see this. Mercedes-Benz really is leading the industry as far as these cameras go. Like, you can see everywhere, and it's super responsive, easy to see, and it's really nice. Now, if we go over here to comfort, as you can see there, here's all of your different massages you can go through. There is a plethora of options. Ambient lighting, there are, I think, 64 different custom colors that you can select in there, or you can do multicolor. You kind of see that's basically what it would look like and where it highlights. What else do we got here? Seat, you have different, here's your side bolsters that you can basically adjust, which mine's on 5, passengers on 0, so we'll take mine down to 0, put passenger at 5, and yeah, so a little weird that you have to kind of like go through the menu for this, but nonetheless, that's where it's at if you want to adjust it. But I definitely did notice the bolsters on this. You also have like an off-road menu screen that has a ton of different information. Obviously, you can see my wheels are turned right now. Tires are 66 degrees. And then over here on the right, you can see I'm at 24 degrees. If I start to turn it, it's going to change immediately. So really cool to have all of this in case you want to take a $128,000 SUV off-road. If we went through everything in that menu, I'm going to be honest with you, we'd be here all day. Definitely some neat little features in there. Just wanted to show you some of the top ones. I think it is officially time we get this GLS 580 out on the road, because that's where, in my opinion, it needs to shine. As you would do in a GLS 580, I have my seat massager going. Of course, it's the first thing that I do. That never gets old, especially in a Mercedes-Benz. I've said this before in my other ones that have the massagers. They definitely lead the industry as far as the massaging seat goes, because a lot of seat massagers, okay, I can't talk, don't worry about it. Either way, a lot of the other ones claim to have it, and they do work. However, it's basically just moving the lumbar support back and forth. This is like your at-home, like, buy a chair massager. Like, it's literally got little, like, air pocket balls that literally go into your back and knead. And then it also moves everything down on your butt and everything. Like, it's a good massage. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it is actually really good. And then the other thing that I do is I always turn on my cooled seat, because it is hot here in Arizona. Which, again, super nice to have, which, although definitely expected on a vehicle of this caliber. And then, of course, the heated and cooled cup holders, right? This is the first vehicle that I have had with that option. They work. Like, my water was room temp, and it is getting cold. So, not just a gimmicky little thing, because I was kind of curious how they actually work, and they really do work. To be honest, I wish more vehicles had that, because that is super nice. So while we're touching on luxury items, you've got to talk on the different drive modes. So I find myself in most of the time just in comfort. There's individual, sport, and off-road as well. Like I just said, I find myself in comfort most of the time. If you really want to get on it, go, no problem. Definitely plenty of power for an SUV. The other thing to note on the comfort side is obviously the suspension. Suspension is really good, which it should be based on the class that this is in. It's impressive to me how you can even get a vehicle to go over some of the bumps that it goes over and be so quiet. Speaking on quietness, super quiet. Here comes a vehicle by. I know you didn't hear it because I literally didn't hear it. So, and I'll give you one more example right here. it's just quiet, smooth, you're just cruising along. So if you're looking for a luxury SUV, this is probably going to be at the top of your list, as long as you can afford it, obviously. Here comes our cattle guard for suspension and noise. I'd be pretty impressed if my head moved even a quarter of an inch. And that's not me like fighting it, that's me just sitting here. And if you want to see kind of the differences on that in different vehicles, just click on my channel, go to pretty much any review, any vehicle, you're gonna see it, because I do that pretty much in every single vehicle, and that was impressive. We have to touch on the blind spots. Checking over to our left, the pillar is pretty fat, not gonna lie, but you can see back there pretty good. Over on our right, you can see even easier, and of course there's blind spot monitoring if you have any issues seeing. Now, we've talked on the comfort suspension wise, but if we were to put this into sport, let's just say, and we were coming up to a turn, let's see what kind of body roll this thing has. I'm kind of curious. Again, this thing is not light. So here we go. We're going to take this at 25. Definitely some body roll. No question there, as my water bottle just tumbled out of the cup holder because it's too skinny. Definitely some body roll, unsurprisingly. However, I can 100% feel a difference from sport to comfort as far as steering responsiveness. Because like right now, if I go left, like you can kind of see like it's very responsive. Now as to where if I put it in comfort, we'll see if it comes across on camera, but it's like the inputs are way different from each other. Also, throttle response, way different. As soon as I put it in sport, it basically downshifted. I didn't pay attention to what gear it went. Nonetheless, it downshifted immediately. I could barely hear that. The one thing you can hear on this vehicle is the motor slash exhaust when you're actually getting on it. And I'll give you an example of that soon as we come up here in just a second, because we definitely have to talk on the power on this. It is definitely good. I've got it clicked into sport. Let's test the all-wheel drive here. A little bit of wheel spin, it corrected itself immediately, and we are off, baby. Here we go. Test the brakes. Wow, that's pretty good. That is impressive. For how big and how heavy this thing is, to stop like that. I didn't even have it like to the floor or anything. I had it like 3/4 maybe, 75–80%. And that thing, wow, that is impressive. Now, as you just saw, this thing definitely will accelerate pretty quickly, obviously over 500 horsepower. So like even passing power, like you hit it, like you're going immediately. To keep in mind, I have a 2017 Acura NSX with downpipes and an exhaust, so I understand fast. I've owned a bunch of other cars too, Audi R8s, gated manuals, C7s, Z06s, bunch of different stuff. Anyway, for an SUV, this thing is no joke. It is no joke. And the feeling is totally different. When you get in a large vehicle and it starts moving at such a rapid pace, like you got to be able to slow it down. And this thing 100% slows down very well, just as quickly as it accelerates. 0 to 60, as already mentioned, is about the 4.7 mark. I say we do a quick test at that really quick. All right, we're gonna do a non-scientific 0 to 60, just punching it and going. Here we go, and to the floor. We're in sport, 20. Oh, it picks up big time then. 60. So it should be about the 4.7 mark. This thing moves. And that's the only time you can really hear any noise in this thing is when you're accelerating at full speed, and you're just not gonna hide that, right? So is what it is, and they've done a phenomenal job, and this definitely deserves the price tag that it has, 100%. The engineering, the craftsmanship, really, really good. So if there's anything else I'm missing that you guys would like to know, drop a comment down below. Next video, 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. As nice as this is, there's always improvements. I'm probably gonna have to dig a little deeper on this one, but I'll find stuff. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. We're almost at 20,000 subscribers. Thank each and every one of you. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.